Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Zane here with another video, and this is going to be the first rebuild of the channel. And of course, with the first rebuild, we got to rebuild my personal favorite team, the Atlanta Hawks. And last video I posted, Brian Hunt kind of destroyed the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, Brian Hunt is the series where I simulate the career of a first overall pick. But now we're going to be rebuilding the Hawks. And the Hawks are a little bit of a confusing team in terms of what do we do next. Some rumors indicate trading John Collins or Clint Capella to get Rudy Gobert. And I just personally don't like that. I think Rudy Gobert is a good defensive player, but really all he adds compared to Clint Capella is an extra block a game and a little bit more intimidation. And I'm not sure I want to trade for that. Another trade possibility is going out and getting DeAndre Ayton, and I think that's going to be the move we make. I think we're going to try and get DeAndre Ayton and end up signing or end up doing a little bit of a sign and trade with the Phoenix Suns and giving up Clint Capella for the young star in Ayton. And I think that's what we're going to do next. And I will see you in the offseason after this current season that we are in.
And here we are. The Hawks end up going to the finals but getting swept by the Jazz. And now we are going to go to the offseason. Let me make sure that I turn on or change my automations. That way nobody's doing stuff for me that I don't want to do. And I'll fix that right quick. Switch to manual for all of them, especially the draft. I want to see if I can get somewhat of a steal. But again, we will have the 29th overall pick, so I don't know how likely that is. And player retirements, let's see who retired. Joe Johnson, DJ Augustin, and Anderson Varejao all retires. That's the only ones, though. Staff retirements, Dwayne Casey. League meetings, let me just make sure none of this happens. And then we'll take a look at the draft lottery real quick. See who will get the number one overall pick. I did choose a different draft class than I did in the number one overall pick career sim, but again, I'm still not sure if it will be completely accurate as the Charlotte Hornets get the number one overall pick. Staff signing, I don't think we're going to worry too much about that. We're just going to let them handle that. And we're going to just skip all the way to the NBA draft. And few trainer injuries, and let's see who we can take here. We'll send to the user pick, and we have pick 23, so not 29 actually. And looks like we're getting some trade offers for this pick. We'll see what it looks like. We can get a 23 first and a 24 first from Philadelphia, get a 23 and a 24 from Cleveland, 23, 24 from Memphis. Charlotte's willing to give up PJ and Kelly. And we're really just looking to see if anybody's worth actually getting here. And as of right now, it does not look like it. Maybe, yeah, it's not looking like it. We can get Kennedy Chandler, though. They're willing to trade that to us for Denebo and the pick, and they'll give us back Kennedy and Isaiah Litters. Maybe we take that trade as the Detroit Pistons do have Cade Cunningham at that guard position. We'll take a look around, though. Christian Wood is a guy who might be taken out, but we are trying to get DeAndre Ayton, so I seriously doubt that will happen. And we're going to just take Kennedy Chandler. He has good value, and we're really not going to get anybody better at this 23rd overall pick. And we'll send to this second round pick and see who we can get, assuming nobody very good, but it looks like this. I don't know how to say this name, but this guy looks pretty good. Might just take a shot on him. We'll just take a shot on Idu Dianko Baji from Senegal. And we will just send to the end. And ended up getting Ty Washington as the number one overall pick, I guess. Paulo Banchero. We ended up getting the third overall pick in Kennedy Chandler. So I guess still no Jabari Smith, and then still no Chet Holmgren. Falls all the way to 11, even though being an 81 overall. And now looking at the rookie signing, we're going to sign both of these guys. Both of them look pretty good, including Dianco Bahaji, however you say that, will pick up his contract. And looks like James Harden accepts his player option. Kyrie Irving declines it, so maybe we bring in a shooting guard. Or maybe we bring in Bradley Beal as a secondary scorer. We'll see what we can do in the offseason as Johnny Brown Jr. ends up getting the qualifying offer. We're not going to offer any of these guys, especially Kevin Knox, as he is making $7 million to basically not play for us. And here are who is in free agency, and it looks like the Suns are offering him a very big contract, but I think we're just going to wait for him to get signed, and then we're going to trade for him. But as of right now, maybe we try to target Bradley Beal, but never mind, we don't really have the cap room for that. And we'll look to actually relieve some of that cap room once we trade Clint Capella and potentially John Collins, but I don't think that's in the future. Kevin Huerter got a extension 4 years, $65 million. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's going to work out for me, and we might have to trade Kevin Huerter just in order to get somebody better, especially at that $60 million contract range. Jalen Johnson looking good, and that'll be it. As I think we're just going to simulate for a while. Maybe we bring in TJ Warren to play the small forward position, but again, no money, so it doesn't look like we will. And looks like, let's see if anybody has gotten signed yet. DeAndre Ayton signs with the Suns, and we will go over to trade for him. And here we go. So we'll see what it takes to get the young star in. Oh, it just looks like he just signed, so it's going to take a day. And here we are. So we'll see how we can get DeAndre Ayton in 2K22. And looks like he's an 87 overall in the game. I did not realize he was that high. But Clint Capella is an 85. So far, the Hawks would require $3 million more. So maybe we look to move somebody like Kevin Huerter, but I think that would put him up too much over. And no, it actually doesn't. So we will look to get this from him. And we'll throw in a pick first round, and then we'll throw in a few seconds as well, just to kind of sweeten up the deal a little bit. Still no trade, so we're actually offering just another first. Not really worried about 5 years down in the future because we're probably going to be there by now. And looks like he is not taking that, so we're going to throw in this guy, and looks like they will acquire a little bit too much. So we'll look for their minimum player, and that will be none of them. None of them are minimum players. So I guess maybe we throw in Torrey Craig, but again, still not working. As maybe we'll look to remove Kevin Huerter from the trade, and we move in somebody else, potentially Isaiah Livers, and the Suns have agreed to the offer. We traded Clint Capella, a rookie, for DeAndre Ayton and a few picks, so maybe we could have gotten a little less, but overall I think it was worth it. And we do free up quite a lot of space, I believe. And Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, and John Collins are going to be the big three for this team, it appears. Bogdan and DeAndre Onyeka. Kevin Huerter, we're going to just trade. We're going to look for the trade finder, and we're going to see what we can get for Kevin Huerter. Because I don't like that contract for the player that we get, especially in 2K, where he only averages a few points a game. And we can get somebody like Jose Alvarado, but we do have Kennedy Chandler, Alexei Pogashevsky maybe, but I don't think so. And maybe we just bring in Matisse Thybulle to be the backup small forward for us. And apparently we're trading the 2022 first round pick, even though we already traded that. So I'm not sure what that's asking me to do. And actually, I think we're just going to rock until the beginning of this season. We'll take a look at player progression, see how all of our guys have been progressing. Now in player progression, Bears Trae Young went up 3, DeAndre Ayton went up 3 to a 89 overall, so looking like a really good trade already. Onyeka goes up 2, John Collins goes up 1. Bogdan goes down 1, but Kevin Huerter picks it up 2, moves up 2. DeAndre Hunter doesn't move at all, while Sharif Cooper actually jumps up 7. So maybe a little bit of a shooting guard to Kennedy Chandler. But they are both very short, so I'm not sure if we want to run that. But as of right now, it looks like we do need a backup small forward or a backup shooting guard. So we'll take a look at that once we get to the beginning of the season. And here we are in the next season. We're going to look to move Kevin Herter for somebody, and potentially even Bogdanovich. But we will see as that comes along. And let's see what we can get for Kevin Herter. So it looks like we can still get Matisse Thybulle and Terrence Ross ended up on our team after being signed in free agency. We can get Karis LeVert, but not much of an upgrade over Kevin Herter, as it is only a 1 overall difference, and he is making $4 million more than him. Tyus Jones at 80 overall, but again, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We don't really need it. Maybe we go for Jonathan Isaac, a defensive stopper. He can be our starting small forward while DeAndre Hunter moves to the bench. And looks like he had a very efficient season last year, 1.6 steals and 2 blocks, and just coming in as a defensive starter. I am down for that, and we will look to move that around. So as of right now, it's looking like Trae Young, Bogdanovich, DeAndre Hunter, and they want to start DeAndre. I want to start Jonathan Isaac in at the 3, so we will give him those minutes. Jonathan Isaac, John Collins, DeAndre Ayton, Onyeka Okongwu, DeAndre Hunter, Sharif Cooper playing one of the two, probably point guard. We move Kennedy Chandler to the shooting guard, and then we have Jalen Johnson playing the power forward for us. And let's just hop right into it. We'll see what the beginning of the season looks like after I move these players. Jonathan Isaac moves up to a 81 as a small forward, and Kennedy Chandler goes down to so they both go down, so we'll just leave it as it is. I know it doesn't really matter, but we'll just let them fight it out for point guard and shooting guard. And first game of the season, let's see what will happen. Already offered a trade, but we're going to decline that. And looks like it was a loss, but Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving really gave us buckets, while Trae Young had a little bit of a rough game, although 23 points and 11 assists. DeAndre Ayton, 17 points and 12 rebounds on 6 for 9 shooting with 5 of 7 free throws. So looking pretty good. I'll see you guys at the trade deadline.
And Jason Tatum is your Kia MVP. We didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Everybody was playing good, and nobody was really worth it. Keegan Murray wins Rookie of the Year, averaging 24 and 11. Andre Drummond, 6th Man of the Year, 14 and 13. Matisse Thybulle, who we could have traded for 2 steals and a block a game. Most Improved Player goes to John Morant, and Willie Green wins Coach of the Year. And now for the first All NBA teams: Luka Doncic on the first team, John Morant, Jason Tatum, the MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic headlines the first team. Joel Embiid, Zion Williamson, Keegan Murray as a rookie. He came in as an 80 overall and jumped up all the way to an 84. James Harden and Trae Young on the second team. Trae averaging 31 and 8. And with the third team, Dyson Daniels as another rookie, Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. All defensive team consists of Ben Simmons, Paul George, Matisse Thybulle, Jonathan Isaac, and Anthony Davis. And all defensive second team consists of Lonzo, Drew, Kawhi, Giannis, and Rudy Gobert. All rookie team: Keegan Murray, Dyson Daniels, EJ Liddell, Chet Holmgren, and Paulo Banchero. And second team: Jabari Smith, Tara Eason, Johnny Davis, Shaedon Sharpe, and Mark Williams. Now to the playoff picture. The Hawks and the Pelicans are the 1 seeds, and the Hawks, of course, are us. So let's see if we can already complete this rebuild. We'll simulate the first round. 1-0 Brooklyn, 1-1 ties the series up. Atlanta up 2-1, Atlanta up 3-1, and it looks like we will pull away. And the Atlanta Hawks win the first round. Atlanta going up against Miami now, and we'll see how that ends up going. And Atlanta down 2-0 now, comes back 2-2 series, and Atlanta wins 4-2, coming back from 0-2. Now we're going up against the 2-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, and it looks like Atlanta will be up 2-1, 3-1, and Atlanta will move on a 7-game series, and we're facing the 2-seeded Utah Jazz. And now we're going to simulate this first game. Looks like the Jazz are winning throughout the first half, and it looks like they're kind of running away with things, and they will end up winning the first game. Now up, the Hawks have a big first quarter, and it looks like it's going to be a blowout for the Atlanta Hawks. Maybe not, though, and they end up coming back kind of 114 to 108. Hawks now tie it. Next up, Hawks versus Jazz, obviously, but Hawks taking a commanding lead, and it looks like the Hawks are going to pull away 2-1 in the series. Next game, game number 4. Let's see who can win this, which is a very crucial game to see if who can go up 3-1, but it doesn't look like it. We get blown out, and now it is tied up to 2-2. Game 5, we will simulate who gets it. Jazz leading through the first, and we'll stop the simulation. It seems like a little bit of a close game as the Hawks try to come back in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, lead down by only a few, and it looks like we're down by 2, and we will jump in. And now jumped into the game. We'll see how this works. I don't like that camera view, as we will quickly change it. And that looks a lot better, and it'll end up being an 8-second violation, so that's a glitch, I guess. And that really sucks because that turns over the possession, as D'Anthony Melton will now bring up the ball, guarded by Bogdan Bogdanovic. DeAndre Ayton gets switched onto him. DeAndre playing good defense, continues to drive in, and he won't end up getting anywhere. But Rudy Gobert scores over Ayton, showing why we should have took him over him. But I still agree with the DeAndre Ayton trade, as Trae Young will dribble the ball, mid-range pump fake, end up passing over, or no, actually takes the shot. John Collins will end up getting the rebound and end up getting the easy putback. And now the Hawks are only down 2 with a minute left in the game. Bogdan Bogdanovic ends up guarding, who is that, Clarkson again? And Gobert against DeAndre Ayton, seeing what DeAndre Ayton can do. Melton actually left open, but good closeout by Bogdan Bogdanovic. Passes it over to Conley. Looks like, who is that? Jonathan Isaac on Conley as of right now, and they will force a bad shot, and it'll end up being Hawks' ball. Isaac will pass to Bogdan. Bogdan gets a wide open layup, and they will tie it and still have an opportunity to get the final shot off. And looks like they will be tied at 100. 30 seconds left on the clock as D'Anthony Melton dribbles the ball. Good switch on to John Collins, and gets another switch back on to Rudy Gobert, and good defense by DeAndre Ayton, and grabs the rebound. And there will be 17 seconds left on the clock for Atlanta. What a signing DeAndre Ayton was, and now about to go up 3-2 if somebody can hit this final shot, or we can go into overtime. And now, we don't really care about the player of the game. Donovan Mitchell ends up getting the player of the game, but again, we don't really care about that. 22 points, and we're trying to skip it as fast as I can. And ball will come in to Trae Young. Trae Young will dribble the ball, kind of isoing, waiting out for the last shot as they wait. And 7 seconds now. Trae gets the switch on to Gobert, takes a bad shot and ends up missing. Rudy Gobert full court shot and misses, so we will go to overtime. And we will now simcast the overtime period to see who might win. Atlanta takes the lead up 3. We'll go a little bit slower now. Now tied at, or not tied, but 113-112. We'll see if Atlanta can hit the free throws, and they don't even need to. 113-112, and Atlanta can take the series up to 3-2. What a game that was. And now we are loading back in. Might take us a few seconds. As I talk, I want to just mention how big of a trade DeAndre Ayton was. I mean, already in the finals after just 1 season of rebuilding. And I also want to remind you to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, especially when we are in the growing stage, just trying to get a small following. And we will simulate this game 6. And Atlanta seems to be up right now, and Atlanta will end up winning the championship. And that is the rebuild. Trae Young wins Finals MVP, averaging 27, 9 rebounds, and 40-30, I guess. Not shooting efficiently, but that's okay. And I want to thank you guys for sticking around for this rebuild. If you guys watched all the way to the end of this video, comment potato. And yeah, thanks for watching. First rebuild on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.